This is Full Time Devils. Let's do it. The ultimate Jose Mourinho 11. What we're going to do today with the guys, just for a bit of fun and to get us excited for the start of Jose Mourinho's reign at Manchester United, is put together a team of his best ever players. The best players that Jose Mourinho has ever managed at all of his clubs. Then, at the end, we're going to see if any Manchester United players in the current setup will actually get into it. I'm joined by Howson, Rory from Chelsea Fans Channel, and Adam McCullough. We'll start with Howson. Howson, goalkeeper, all-time Jose Mourinho goalkeepers from clubs not including Manchester United right now. Who gets in it?
There's only one name, I think, mate, isn't there? It's Peter Cech.
It's got to be the one.
It's got to be Peter Cech. I think, was it Julio Cesar he had at Inter? Casillas he had, but yeah. I think he fell out with at Real Madrid.
So it was when it all started to fall apart for him there, wasn't it?
It's Peter Cech, and move on to the next position,
I'm guessing everyone, is everyone else the same here? Rory, I think that you'll be saying Peter Cech as well, won't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Peter Cech there.
I've gone Jeremy Dudek.
No, you've not. Defence, who do we play? Right back, centre half, left back?
You start with me again?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go through my whole defence or just...
Go through your whole defence. Tell me who's in it.
All right, my whole defence then is Javier Zanetti as my right back.
Yeah.
The guy is a Inter Milan legend, European Cup winner. I think he might have played more games than gigs. I'm not sure. He's got a ridiculous amount of games anyway. The guy's a phenomenal right back. He was pretty old by the time Mourinho got to Inter Milan, but he was still a massive part of that team. And I think he was the captain the night they won the Champions League as well.
The treble.
Of course. Left back, I debated on this quite a bit actually, because I wasn't sure if he actually won anything under Mourinho, but the guy was quality. As much as it pains us to say as United fans, and that's Ashley Cole. That's my left back. And I think that's a cracking pair of full-backs. Centre half, there's definitely, Rory at least, going to disagree on this point, but I'll back it up by saying the two centre halves I've chosen because they were centre halves in the Champions League winning Jose Mourinho sides, and that's Carvalho and that's Lucio. I've gone for height, I've gone for strength, and I just don't rate John Terry's positioning, so those two are the best two centre halves for me. That's
How
my defence.
can you miss out Manchester United legend John Terry? He won us a Champions League, mate. Rory, tell him he's wrong.
He's wrong. I agree with a lot of his back line there. I think put it perfectly about Zanetti. I think that one is a given. I think Ashley Cole has to be in as well. He's definitely the best left back the Premier League has ever seen. And I would. And then the one that I'm going to counter, I think Ricardo Carvalho is again a great shout from Howson. He is definitely the best ball-playing centre-half that I've ever seen. He was also a master of the dark arts, which I have a lot of time for. You know, he really was responsible for us scoring a lot of goals by just making sure he was standing in the right place and impeding the right defender. They're then going to disagree massively, and I'm slightly fearful of the reception this is going to get, but I'm, of course, going to make a case for John Terry here. John Terry has led Chelsea to our greatest ever evenings and our greatest ever titles.
And one of ours.
He's also I don't think that you can genuinely leave him out of this side if you just take away emotion from it for 1 second. Under Mourinho's first tenure, we were fantastic. We won back-to-back leagues. We did it with conceding the least ever goals and record number of points. It really was due to the back line, and John Terry was one of the reasons there. This is a point that I think has to come back. Mourinho then came back to Chelsea, and a decade later, John Terry was still there, still the fulcrum of the team, still the main reason that we managed to win a Premier League. And he played in every minute of every game of the Premier League season, and we won the league again under Jose Mourinho. I think for those reasons alone, I think it would be slightly disingenuous to try and leave John Terry out of this.
I think that if we look at this sort of objectively and disregard his personal life and things like that, then I think that even United fans have to admit that John Terry purely being a constant in the Premier League and his leadership abilities that he's shown at Chelsea, surely he has to be in that team. I've got to disagree with you, Howson. Adam, is John Terry in your team?
Yeah, you know what? I tried to make an argument to put Lucio, Sergio Ramos, all these players ahead of him, and the simple fact that you can't. My back four is Zanetti, Carvalho, Terry, and Ashley Cole.
Great minds, Adam. Great minds think alike.
Ashley Cole for me is the best left back that the Premier League's seen, and that hurts me to say, given that I would have Paddy Everett's babies. But it's just simple facts. Ashley Cole has been better than him consistently for a longer period of time. Ricardo Carvalho for me, and he's kind of like, in the way he plays with the ball at his feet. He seemed like he's got a yard in his head. If you look at, I think he brought him to Real Madrid as well. Did he bring him to Real Madrid with him, or was he already there when he got there? But he had him at Real Madrid, he had him at Porto, he had him at Chelsea. Carvalho is the man for me, and I think Carvalho has to be there as much as John Terry.
I think these are the positions which are going to cause the most controversy now. Midfield, there are so many options to speak about. There are so many different players that he could be that could get in there. So many world-class players. Howson, tell me your midfield, and also tell me what setup you're actually going for as well with how many midfielders you're playing.
I'm playing a 4-3-3 because that's Mourinho to me. I think Mourinho's a 4-3-3, especially early days, sort of manager. And Claude Makelele is sitting at the base of the triangle for me because he was. When you talk about how few goals they conceded in the early Chelsea Mourinho, Claude Makelele is that reason for me. The Makelele foul, there's a foul named after him.
There's a position named after him. The Makelele role.
The Makelele foul, people cross the halfway line, foul him, carry on normal jogging. It was a wonderful player, and you talking about the dark arts, Makelele was a master of the dark arts for me, and a complete shutter down of counter-attacks. Fantastic footballer. He's definitely in my side at the base of the triangle. And because I've got Makelele, I've got two players who are going to play football and tear you to pieces, and that's Deco. 2004 vintage Deco.
Porto Deco. Nice.
And a 2010 vintage Wesley Sneijder.
Fair play, fair shouts. Rory, who's in your midfield? How many Chelsea players
I
have you
think
got?
that's great midfield there. I mean, I'd love to watch that midfield play together.
I did and ahh about putting Lampard in, but Sneijder just edged it for me after the treble win.
Yeah, you could certainly make that case. I've gone for. I've actually left out Claude Makelele. That's not because I don't admire his brilliance. I respect him. I think he's a wonderful player. And you're right, he has a position named after him. How many players can say that? But in that position, I've just gone for Michael Essien. I just think that Michael Essien controlled a game. I don't think I've ever had the privilege of watching a player control the tempo of a game the way that Michael Essien could. The way that he would pick up the ball from the back and drive forward, it used to terrify defences. He also had it in him to score a wonderful goal, which we all love to see. He scored one of the best goals I've ever seen at Chelsea. It was a goal against Arsenal where he sort of pings it.
I'd say that's probably one of the best goals I've ever seen in my lifetime, to be honest.
And then, guys, you're like 10.
Sensational.
Yeah, it really was a good goal. So
you're all far.
I've gone for Essien, and also I think the one case I can make for Essien over Makelele as well. This is a great game to play because they're both such wonderful players. But I went to Anfield. I think it was in 07, and we won up there 3-1. And Michael Essien did a man-to-man on Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard in his pomp, and Gerrard didn't touch the ball the entire day. Steven Gerrard didn't touch the ball. Michael Essien had him in his pocket, and it really was probably the driving force to us winning that tie. So I've given the holding midfielder to Michael Essien just. I then obviously have to give it to Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard, nobody, I doubt we'll ever see his like again just for scoring a goal from that central midfield role. His knack of arriving late and winning you a game, whether you're playing well or not.
Is he your leading all-time scorer?
He is Chelsea's all-time goal scorer, yes.
He's also a Man City legend as well. So
yeah, he's not going to be the most popular man on this channel, I concede. But I think again, if we remove all sorts of emotion from this and just look at the player himself, Frank Lampard was at Chelsea for over a decade, won everything, was one of the main reasons that we won everything, scored over 20 goals a season consistently, broke all sorts of records, and Chelsea will never replace that man. I think you had it, and I think you could probably empathise with what I'm about to say here through Paul Scholes. When you're just desperate for a goal, perhaps you're not playing well, perhaps you're away from home and everything is going against you, suddenly you win the game 2-1 because Lampard scored 2. And you don't know where from. He was anonymous up until that point, but he's pinged it in. He's a flawless midfielder and is critically underrated, in my opinion. I think history will be very kind to Frank Lampard.
He's another one that suffered because of the love-in with Steven Gerrard, the same way Scholes did.
Yeah, completely agree.
I think Frank Lampard. Have you finished your 3, Rory?
No, the last one I'm going to go for is Deco, just because I think Deco is a toss-up for this position, but I think he's so creative, had it in him to score a goal, and with under the tutelage of best manager in the world, certainly at the time, Jose Mourinho, Deco was the driving force to Porto winning a Champions League, probably the most unlikely Champions League winners certainly in my lifetime. So I think Deco doing that is very impressive.
Cheers, Rory. Adam, you were going to make a point then about Frank Lampard, were you?
Yeah, I think Frank Lampard, you mentioned bossing Gerrard. I mean, Anderson done that in 08, so it doesn't really prove a point. But I mean, Frank Lampard for me is, people used to compare him with Steven Gerrard, but I felt if Frank Lampard moved to Italy or moved to Spain, he wouldn't be out of place. Much like Paul Scholes, in that I felt that he was more cultured of a midfielder, and if he went abroad, he would be a lot more successful. I went for a midfield three as well. I left Makelele out for those reasons, same as Rory. I picked Essien. I felt he was an evolution of Makelele, where he could kind of do that Makelele job, but he could also, if you wanted, play a little bit further forward. He could stick the ball in the back of the net.
Adam, that's so accurate. That's such a good point, actually. I've never even thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right.
This is far too civil. I'm not having this. It's far too civil.
Do you know what? No, I have my fair share of run-ins with Mr. McCullough, and I really enjoy them. But I've never thought about it like that. But that's a really good point. I think that's great. Essien is sort of Makelele Mark II. It's really, really accurate.
Go on, Adam. What's the rest of your midfield?
I was right about Mourinho last year as well, but I won't bring that up because he's at Old Trafford now. Yeah, so Essien, and then I picked Lampard as well, for the reason I said. And now I'm stuck between Alonso, Deco, and Modric. And it's Alonso, Deco, Modric. That's all Ozil.
That's not a bad three anyway.
1 sec, let me pick. I'm going to go with Luka Modric. Now, Luka Modric is, for me, at this moment in time anyway, it's maybe more because of who I see him as now. But for me, Luka Modric is one of the most underrated players in the world. Because of the way things are at Real Madrid, he's obviously not the biggest name there. You got Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, etc. But I think if it wasn't for Luka Modric, they wouldn't have won the Champions Leagues that they have in previous years. And I don't think they would be as successful as a team. Is a top quality player. And when we missed out on him, when he left Spurs, I was absolutely gutted. So my midfield three is Essien, Modric, and Lampard.
Beautiful.
All class midfields. Alison, this is the exciting bit now. Forwards, what is your front three?
Pace. Power.
Go on.
Prolificness.
I can already tell you it is. Go on.
No, why is he going first again, man?
Because he says things that causes controversy and makes you all start arguments. That's why he goes first.
But not necessarily. I think everyone's going to be quite in agreement on this one. Drogba leads a line.
Yes.
Because that's what Drogba does. Fantastically.
As we all know too well, Man United fans.
And then in behind him, covering the wide areas. It was offside.
It was offside. It was offside.
He wasn't offside in the cup
bastard
final,
row.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so Ronaldo on the right and Robben on the left, and that's just going to provide pace, outlets, counter-attacking. Drogba can hold it up and lay it off to those two, and there's easily 100 goals across that forward three, especially with Deco and Schneider behind them. What a team.
Rory, in fact, we'll go to Adam first. Adam, what are you saying is your front three?
What was the rest of your front three, sorry?
You went for Robben, Drogba as the striker, and Ronaldo on the right.
Fuck off, Steve.
I know.
That's my front three.
Oh, is that the same team? I thought you'd say something controversial.
You've got strikers, Benzema, Eto'o, Ibrahimovic. I don't think any of them come close to Drogba in his pomp.
I think that Eto'o and Ibrahimovic, though,
especially with the way that
shouts.
Jose Mourinho wants a team to play, I think Drogba, if he could pick his perfect striker in his peak, he'd say Didier Drogba.
Rory, I'm guessing you're going to go with Drogba as well, then?
I'm certainly going with. I'm afraid I'm making it a hat trick. It's the exact same front three I've gone for. I think the one that could be slightly more controversial, just from a Chelsea fan's perspective, is Arjen Robben. It didn't quite work out for him at Chelsea for the long term the way that we hoped it would. However, when he used to pick up, I remember when he picked up the ball in the year that we won the league. We went away to Blackburn Rovers and won 1-0. It was a year that Mourinho predicted that we would win the league that day, and it was a day in February. And we went away. It was freezing cold. And Robben picked the ball up, drove and pinged one in, broke his foot actually that day. But the lack of that player in the Chelsea side of last year, you know, a player. I mean, you've been blessed with this over the years. I'm sure that you guys watching it will really understand this. But you know, a player who picks the ball up anywhere on the pitch, and as he picks it up, you sort of go, "This is it. This could be it, no matter where he is."
Yeah, Obertan.
Robben was like that. No matter where he was on the ball, no matter what the score, no matter what the opposition, Robben picking the ball up and driving was just such a sight to behold. You know, it was similar to the way that Gareth Bale can be on his day. It really was great. And then I've obviously gone for Drogba, and then it's impossible to argue against Cristiano Ronaldo, who on his, you know, he's a masterclass, isn't he?
Right.
What about
I'll be
Angel
honest.
Di Maria, lads?
Ronaldo scored 168 in 164 games for Mourinho.
Ridiculous.
Di Maria's the only one that could test Robben's position, I think.
Yeah, Di Maria would be another good shout. And to be honest, as a striker, I think that Ibrahimovic and Neto are two good shouts as well.
But now, to be honest,
I am quite sick of talking about opposition teams' players. It's time to talk about Man United again. And maybe this could be quite depressing, actually, because we're going to go through what Man United players in the current squad could get into that Mourinho all-time 11. Adam, we'll start with you. Who do you honestly think could get into it?
Right. Peter Cech and his hat's off. David De Gea. Apart from that, absolutely no changes.
only De Gea.
I can't justify putting Smalling or Blind in that defence. Can't justify putting anybody in that team. They've got two of the best fullbacks Europe's seen in recent years. Their midfield's amazing. Michael Carrick in his peak would have challenged, wouldn't have made it. Marshall maybe one day would get in there.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we did this video in a year's time, then maybe we'd be putting Marshall on that left-hand side.
He's got an awful lot to do to catch up Ronaldo and Robben in a year, but
Robben at Chelsea.
Fellaini in for Deco.
yeah, only David De Gea for me, unfortunately, which says a lot about. I think it's a fair reflection of our team. The only player that we've got that's world class is David De Gea. The only bright spot potential that could get in there is Anthony Marshall. So if you're talking about Fergie's best teams, then there'd be a lot of changes, but we're talking about one of United's worst teams at the moment in recent years. So for me, only Dave the save.
Rory, I'll be quite impressed if you actually make one change to that team. Would there be one?
I actually wouldn't make any changes, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem, as much of a problem as it sounds for Manchester United. I've just picked the best team that has played under the best manager of recent times. You're in a rocky position at the moment. The thing that could happen if we play this game again in a decade, and I very much look forward to doing that with you, I think that the likes of, I've just got back from following England. Marcus Rashford should have seen a lot more football. There's certainly potential there. I think that obviously Anthony Martial looks very good. And make no mistake about it, I can say this with all certainty, Mourinho will get the players that you have currently playing in a way that you won't recognise. He will insist that certain players who perhaps have let you down in the past, that will not be a possibility anymore. You have a very bright future, I'm sure.
Like the sound of that. Steve, any changes?
Just Fellaini, obviously, in there for Wes Sneijder.
Obviously. Go on, De Gea must make it.
Yeah, for me, I think De Gea is the best keeper in the world at the moment. I still think Neuer has got clangers in him. No one's as consistent or gets as much trade even as David De Gea's had. So
Tell me
he's
a
in there
bad
for
game
me.
David De Gea's had since he stopped being like shit. Remember when he had that rough patch? Since his
The
Spain
Spain game the other week.
he doesn't. I'm not a Spain fan, Gaz.
No, yeah, you're completely right. You're completely right. He has been. He has
I'm
been
struggling.
consistent.
And I think Marshall's going to have to match what these two wingers have done in terms of he's going to have to score 30, 40 goals in a season to be considered going in ahead of these. And I don't see that in the next 3-4 years.
Oh, I think next 3-4 years.
I think he's
maybe not
magic. I
next
just don't
year.
see that level of. I don't see that level of output in terms of goals. Raw, just goals, goals, goals.
Right, guys, read out your team then, including your Man United changes to me, and I'm going to make a decision on which one's the best. Adam, start with you.
David De Gea in goal,
Yeah.
which is I just forced that one. Then we got Zanetti, Carvalho, Terry, Ashley Cole, midfield three of Essien, Essien, Modric, and Lampard, Ronaldo, Drogba, and Robben. Ooh.
Go on then, Rory, let's hear yours.
My one is Petr Cech, Zanetti, Terry Carvalho, Ashley Cole, Michael Essien, Frank Lampard, Deco, Didier Drogba, Ronaldo, and Drogba.
And Robin.
Two Drogbas.
You can't have two Drogbas.
Sorry, you know what? I realised I've only written 10 players down. It's Robin, Ronaldo, Drogba.
Yeah, that's the one. Alison, what's your team?
Dave Versave in net.
Yeah.
Zanetti, Lucio, Carvalho, and Cole. Midfield rock of Makelele. Deco and Schneider. Ronaldo, Robin, and Drogba up front.
See, the thing is, on one hand, I don't want to invite someone from Chelsea Fans TV and let them win. And then on the other hand, I think Makelele really needs to be in that team. I really do think Makelele needs to be in that team. But then again, John Terry needs to be in the team. I honestly can't decide. I'm not going to make a decision. I'm going to let you guys in the comments make the decision. Get in the comments below. Tell me which team you think is going to be the best. I'm sitting firmly on the fence because they are some absolutely phenomenal
You can't do that,
teams.
Gaz. I haven't got a chance.
Mate, there is not a chance you're coming on full-time Devils and going away with 3 points. Not a chance. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Gaz, been joined by Howson, Adam McCullough and Rory from Chelsea Fans Channel. So go and subscribe to Chelsea Fans Channel if you're a Chelsea fan. Firstly, I don't know what you're doing here in the first place if you are, but if you are or you just want to see what Chelsea are up to at the minute, feel free to go and subscribe to those guys. Guys, feel free to subscribe to us, get in the comments below, give us a like, get all your opinions in. We'll see you next time. Laters.
Some rumours are breaking in regards to Henrik Mkhitaryan of Borussia Dortmund. He's been linked to Manchester United for a while.